This is Wicked Rhody, a wicked good podcast about Rhode Island events and life. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name's Mary Larson.
And I'm Ben DeCastro. Thank you so much for joining us today on this third week of January. Ooh. Oh, I almost sent everybody into a tailspin like it was time to go out and buy your Valentine's cards and chocolates and everything.
It already is that time, my friend.
Well, yes, but you still got a few more weeks to go.
Yes.
But we're under a month here now, so heads up, memo, public service announcement to our friends who need to shop. You got 4 weeks. Don't wait, because then you get the leftover, the crap card collections.
Oh my gosh, the ones that are just meant for like your grandma.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which is nothing wrong with that.
No.
If you're giving a Valentine's Day card to your grandmother, that's
Very
fine.
sweet.
But if you are taking care of a wife, a husband, a spouse, no, you got to get that shopping done early, but not before the AFC Championship game.
That's right.
This is a huge weekend in Patriot world. Mm-hmm. Sunday at 3 o'clock, all eyes will be focused on Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Patriots versus the Jaguars, not the Jaguars or Jaguars.
Yes.
There's been so much controversy. Like,
Wait,
just people
really?
Somebody says it the wrong way, and it's in a video. It just Jaguars or Jaguars.
Who doesn't know how to say this word?
It's just it's happening on off chances. There's different pronunciations. I don't know if it's people who have a speech impediment,
okay,
or they just
never learned about all these wonderful animals in the great big world of ours.
Yeah, either that or they're from a different part of the country, so they have an accent which just kind of construes it.
Do I say it wrong?
No, you say fine.
Jaguar.
Jaguar. That's what it is.
Okay, good.
It's like the car.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. That's what it is. So
I think that you think the car, and I'm thinking the animal that lives in the rainforest.
Both. And there's some
a panther.
There's some jaguars that live in Providence. So
really?
Yeah, don't they have those at the zoo?
Oh, yeah, gosh.
Not just the rainforest, ladies and yes, we have them in Providence. they careen about the Memorial Boulevard area. It's wonderful.
Oh my gosh! So this game is going to be such a big deal. I am so happy that it's at 3.
Yes,
I can handle that.
A lot of people are excited about that. It actually, believe it or not, gives the Patriots a 3-hour advantage.
How come?
Because the team that they will be playing in the Super Bowl, if they win, will have played 3 hours later. So when you 3 hours of rest.
Yes.
And people think it's crazy to say that, but Bill Belichick truly factors that in.
Really?
Oh yeah, he does. When they won the Super Bowl last year. Mm-hmm. Yes, last year, because that was the big comeback. He, on an interview after the game, 2 days later, said, or one day, the next night, he said, we're already 5 weeks behind on next season because we've been in the playoffs and everything. And it's true. That's how their mind thinks. They go through all that programming, and it's
down to the hour.
It really is. So that will be taking place on Sunday at 3 o'clock. There will be a ton of places where you can watch the game, different restaurants and bars and gatherings.
Or the comfort of your own house.
That's where I'll be watching from because, you know what? I enjoy having the ability to take a third quarter nap.
There you go.
I like that. Even during a Super Bowl, although last year during the Super Bowl, I don't think I slept through the third quarter.
Good.
I usually nod off for a little bit, not a full
Okay.
Not from start to finish. Now it's just
Yeah.
That's my chance to doze. I've done it at games, being there live in the stands, just right in there.
Not this season.
No.
Nope. Too cold.
Yeah.
Too cold to nap.
No.
You don't want to nap if it's this cold.
No, absolutely not. No. So listen, if you tuned in while you're on the road, working, taking a nap, or just getting errands done, sit back, listen, and enjoy the episode. If you hear something that piques your interest, we'll have all the info and links for you in our show notes on our website, wickedroadypodcast.com.
I'm really excited about this wicked interesting pick of the week.
And leave it to AS220 to bring you something wicked interesting. It is the Introduction to Electronics. It's a 2-part series happening this Saturday, the 21st, and next Saturday, the 28th. And this is really cool because you can learn how to solder and program electronics in this introductory workshop. Now, think back to when some of us were kids. The younger listeners may not have remembered this, but they had those electronic kits, the 130-in-1 projects, and you had a book.
Yes.
Said if you want to build a light switch or you want to make a blinking light or whatever, and it gave you all these different steps to use and create. You used circuit boards and resistors and capacitors and all these different things to make something.
Yeah.
Well, they are doing that in real life thanks to Educado Kit, which is it's an Arduino. It's essentially you're going to be creating this microcontroller, which is perfect for beginners if you're prototyping a new project.
This is like the adult version of those toys that we had.
It's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And so the first session is going to go over each electronic component used in the assembly, you know, how they lay out the circuit board, troubleshooting to ensure the proper assembly. And then the second class is going to teach you how to read schematics, which is essentially how they, how the electronics work and the basics of electric theory, the Arduino.
There you
I
go.
always mess that up. Arduino language programming and certain. So this is really cool, and then obviously you get a chance to solder, which is something that not a lot of people do nowadays because everybody just throws crap out and never fixes it.
Correct.
But soldering is a very useful tool.
Yeah.
As we learn in on The Office, he said, wedding is the melding, the soldering of two metals. That's welding. Close, but it's a really cool thing. And Arduino, they're an open source electronics platform. And so they really...
I have no idea. This is like so not in my technical knowledge that I'm in awe just listening to this. It sounds very smart.
It is very smart, and it's really cool, and it's so easy and simple for people who are into this kind of thing because a lot of people are getting back into the how to build robotics, electronics, and stuff like that. This is a great way, a great introduction to it. Like I said, it's over at AS220. That facility, they do just a whole wide range of programming, from dance to bands to learning how to
solder.
Make electronics work and work well. So that's our wicked interesting pick of the week. And now here is the wicked fun in the 401.
It's time, my friends, to talk about the Rhode Island Philharmonic again. Remember we were talking about it earlier in the fall. Lots of exciting things going on for the Philharmonic. This is a season where they are searching for a new conductor. It's like The Bachelor, but for a conductor.
Right. You guys have been going through just auditioning different people at each one, or featuring. I shouldn't say auditioning, it's featuring.
Featuring / auditioning /
Gotcha.
They're going to be talking about that person after, saying what they liked, what they didn't like. So it's really exciting.
His baton wasn't as shiny as the one beforehand.
Yes. How was his tux on stage? Did he have good stage presence? All that jazz is going on. Well, this weekend.
It's not jazz, it's classical.
Correct. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Ding. This weekend, they're going to be having a Rush Hour concert on Friday. That's the Amico Rush Hour concert. That's at 6:30 p.m. And the great thing with the Rush Hour concerts, you can go straight from work. You don't have to get all fancy and dressed up. There is no intermission. This is the perfect way for someone who's not used to going to big, long classical concerts to just get a taste of it. And it's a lot less formal. Often the conductors will talk a lot about the piece and kind of educate you about the piece a bit more. And you're out by 8. So you can go have a later dinner with some friends. So that's happening on Friday at 6:30. And then on Saturday, it's going to be the full concert. That is the taco classical. Taco? Why do I always say taco? Because it's my favorite food.
It's spelled like taco.
Taco.
The
Taco classical concert. So the Rush Hour ones, and then the full classical concert is going to be on Saturday, 8 p.m. Both of these are happening at the Vets, just to give you a little feel for the Philharmonic. They're going to be having Tchaikovsky's Fourth. The conductor this week, his name is Ken David Masur. So, he's like a rising conductor. He's like one of the stud conductors coming on up. Oh. And he actually trained under his father and also with Larry Ratcliffe, who was our former music director and conductor. So
do you happen to know how old this guy is? I mean, is this something we're going to see like calendars and he's going to be like... Is he going to be? He's not going to be like the pharma punk kid, is he? He's going to be like a legit good person.
He seems to be on like the young side of the. Yeah,
all right. Hey.
I don't. I'm
come for the music, stay for the conductor.
But the other thing I want to let you guys know is that if you or someone who you know and love wants to take music lessons, they're actually, because the Philharmonic doesn't just have these performances, they also have the Rhode Island Philharmonic Orchestra and Music School.
Right.
They have this new deal going on where your first lesson is free.
Oh, good.
That's an offer through March 1st. So if you wanted to have your kids sign up and learn how to play jazz, like I mentioned earlier,
or any other style, except for screamo.
Yeah. Hey, maybe they would even help you with that. Any of your first music lessons for new students is free.
Awesome.
Through March 1st.
Hey, happening on this Saturday, and actually happens every Saturday, it's community yoga at Roadrunner. Now, for those of you who don't know, Roadrunner is a sneaker and running store on North Main Street in Providence.
Yes.
It is the only place I go and buy sneakers.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I am the type of person, I'm on my feet all the time, and I have bought shoes in the past that are not supportive of my arches, my back, or anything. And when you go there and you do a stride analysis and they talk to you.
Stride analysis?
You actually walk and you jog on their little indoor track and they watch to see, if your ankles roll in, roll out, whatever.
Yeah.
They track that so they pick out the right shoe for you. Because, listen, you can buy shoes at, any of the sporting goods places or any of the department stores that are out there, and you can get great-looking sneakers, absolutely. The shoes that I get at Roadrunner, they're a little bit more, but not that much.
Okay.
We're talking about $100.
Oh, that's not bad for a sneaker.
For a good quality sneaker. And because my ankles tend to roll in, they're a little stiffer. The rubber's a little stiffer on the insole on the insides to keep my ankles and my arches straight.
I love how much our audience now knows about your feet.
They're more than they ever wanted to know. But that's okay.
No, but still, I actually am so happy you did this. It's perfect timing because I need a new pair of sneakers.
Oh, let me tell you something. And if you go to Roadrunner and you mention a charity group that they work with, such as the Providence Ronald McDonald House, they donate 10% of your sale to the Ronald McDonald House in Providence.
Awesome.
And they keep track of what you've purchased in the past. That is a huge benefit. So if you are a runner, no question that I am not a runner. I do not have the body of a runner. I do not eat like a runner. I do not look like a runner. I drive.
There you go.
But I do not run. But when I'm on my feet all day and walking around and everything, especially, now we're coming into convention season, we're just, no, give me the good sneakers because they
hold up.
It holds up and they make a huge difference. So anyway, they have a community yoga class happening every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It's anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes long. It's focused on bringing the benefits of yoga to everyone, but especially for runners and walkers. The class can accommodate up to all levels. And it's anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes long, depending on how the class flow is and the timing.
Yeah.
It's only $5 for the class. $5.
So cheap.
Yeah, wicked cheap. See that? Look at that. Was the
there was a little ding for how cheap it was.
It's almost like you are now free to move about the Roadrunner. But yeah, so $5 per class on Saturdays. It's ongoing. Go check it out. Every Saturday 9 a.m. Roadrunner there in Providence. What else is coming up?
Okay, so we just talked about AS220, about learning how to solder and all that electronic stuff. Well, as you said, they do art, they do music, and on, Saturday night from 7 to 11, they're going to be having this awesome event, a live film scoring festival. Now, this is the second time they've done this. It's hosted by Square Pop, which I had never heard about, but it's an event coordinator place, and they having this event there anyway. They are going to be showing 14 short films that are about less than 13 minutes each. and they will be scored by live musicians. There's going to be about 9 musicians who are going to be there, and it starts at 7:30. You're going to want to get there around 7 because you're going to want to get a good seat. And literally these musicians will sit there and perform live music to the short films that you watch.
Wow.
Super cool. And it's only $8. There will be an intermission. And then the second session starts around 9:15. So even if you are out and you want to come and see it later, great. Or if you want to get a little bite in intermission, you can do that. There's even a super later session at 11 p.m. So if you do go out and you want to have an after dinner, after show experience, you can still head on over to AS220. This is one of the things that I love about this venue is they do have a late night crowd.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay out on the town, if you're not ready to go night yet, okay, that's how I feel. When I actually have a sitter for my kids, I want to stay out as long as I possibly can.
Sure.
And this is an event that you can watch the entire night
and be wicked tired the next day.
Exactly.
Be exhausted. You'll pay for it. You will pay for it. It's funny you mentioned this, the whole live scoring of the musicians. Just last week, the end of last week, I was just scrolling through just YouTube and stuff, and I came across one of my favorite videos is actually an episode of Tom and Jerry that they played, but the whole thing is done with the orchestra actually live.
Yes.
So it's modern. People don't realize that the Tom and Jerry cartoons, even a lot of the old Looney Tunes, the music was the entire bed of everything. Tom and Jerry, there were never any words unless it was just one or two voices.
Sounds, yes.
But everything else, all the communication was done via instrument and sound effects made by live instruments. They even do the smashing of the dishes. They had a metal trash can on the stage, and they throw ceramic plates in there.
No way!
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool to watch. So
awesome.
Check that out. This another multi-week series. It's winter art classes for kids at Linden Place Mansion. That's right. You can spark some creativity and imagination at Linden Place this winter. It's starting this Saturday, the 20th, and it will be also the 27th and February 3rd. It's a 3-day morning course from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. designed for young artists ages 8 to 11. Now, that's important because these students will be taught by professional local artists and certified teacher Joanne Merman. Now, this is like getting a legit art class from a working, thriving, hardworking artist.
In a mansion
in Bristol. And students will learn to draw and paint in beautiful historic setting using a variety of materials while surrounded by the exquisite artifacts in history. So listen, we all love going to the Providence Children's Museum.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place. This is something completely different.
Yes.
It's not every day you have the opportunity. There is a limited amount of spaces available, and it's $75 per student. So,
which breaks down to $25 per class.
Which,
it's
again,
so cheap.
a 2.5-hour class for an 8 to 11-year-old on a Saturday morning, they are going to leave with some amazing skills. They're going to learn so much. They're going to, it's just something they will never forget. If your child is showing any kind of interest in the arts, more so than just the beginner level, check this out. It's the winter art classes over at Linden Place Mansion, happening this Saturday and the 2 Saturdays after that over there in Bristol.
I love how many of our events that are mentioned at this time of year are family friendly, because those of you who do have little ones running around, you want to get them out of the house.
Yeah, you got to do something.
You need to get them out of the house. It's getting a little crazy town.
Before we talk about this, you did something fun with your kids yesterday.
Yes.
Earlier this week, rather.
I went bowling.
You took them bowling.
Yes.
How did that go?
Oh my gosh. First off, I haven't taken them duck pin bowling ever.
Okay.
I just haven't really thought about it. They're still so young. They're 2 and 4. But as you know, the weather's just been cold and crummy. And even if it is warm, it's muddy. So I just figured, let's get them out. They're finally not sick. So we went to Town Hall Bowling Lanes in Johnston.
Okay.
This place was perfect. It was nice and big and clean. There were some little games that the kids could play. There was food, just the general popcorn and bowling food. The guy, when I walked up to the desk, I was telling him like, okay, I need size 10 shoe for myself. I need a size 13 for my husband. And I was starting to tell him about my kids. He looked at their feet and was like size 6 and size 11. And I was like, oh my gosh, he has magic eyes.
Yeah, you get good at stuff like that. Yeah, I would imagine that's kind of. Yeah, I could see that.
That could happen if you look at feet all day and look at shoes, handing them on out. But it was an awesome experience. Got to go take the kids out, go bowling, and we're definitely going to do it again because bowling is not wicked expensive.
No, it's a really cheap, entertaining event. You can take turns. It's physical activity.
Yep.
You can get some snacks and beverages. And you don't have to wear out your shoes. You can wear out somebody else's shoes.
There you go.
Perfect. So I'm sorry. So where were you perfect. Before I so rudely interrupted?
No, it's great. But anyway, we were on the topic that, you need to get the kids out. So there's the Providence Children's Film Festival screening is going to be going on this Friday from 4:30 to 6:30. So nice and early after school.
Perfect.
At the Gordon School in East Providence. Beautiful facilities. This is just a way that they're going to be celebrating the Providence Children's Film Festival. This is going to be a viewing of 9 short films, 2 mystery teasers, and you get a glimpse into the full roundup because the Children's Film Festival is pretty awesome and big. So this is kind of like your little sneak peek, short films. So especially for those of you who have really young kids and you want to just dip your toes into it, this is a great event. So once again, it's Friday at 4:30 at the Gordon School in East Providence.
Check that out. Folks, as we said at the beginning, everything we talked about today on the podcast can be found on our website, wickedroadypodcast.com.
We like to be social, and we know you do too, so find us on Instagram and Facebook, and if you go to any of these events, let them know that you heard about it on Wicked Rhody, and tag us in the description. You can use the hashtag Wicked Rhody, and we'll see it.
Absolutely. We've got an amazing Instagram feed, folks. If you haven't seen the photos that are up there, they're stunning.
They're gorgeous.
Stunning.
Gorgeous, darling.
For advertising and sponsorship information, which means you can get access to not only the people who listen, but also the people who follow us on Facebook and Instagram, email us at wickedroadypodcast@gmail.com.
Super excited. Keep checking in.
Yeah.
Let your friends know. If you listen to this podcast, recommend it to a friend. It's doing something as simple as sharing it on your wall makes a huge difference because people learn about podcasts through word of mouth. So try to do that this week. Sharing is caring.
And if you don't, I will come and I will find you and I will throw a cup of water on you in the freezing cold. So deal with that.
Until next time, folks, I'm Mary Larson.
And I am not the hostile Ben DeCastro.
And you've been listening to Wicked Rhody. We'll have more for you next Thursday.